Hey guys, what's up? How are you doing? And welcome back to the channel. Today we have another Third Age Reforged replay featuring me playing as the elves of Lothlorien, realm of Lothlorien even, and Nikki92320, a good friend of mine, playing as the witch, realm of Angmar. Most of Nikki's army you won't actually be able to see as it's hidden, but all that you're missing that's hidden is like two normal Snarg Stalkers, two Snarger Archers, and I think 3 or 4 Goblin Band. So yeah, that's all you're missing there. Then Nicky also has, like, they're just cheap chod to push through my lines, just overwhelm me, and they won't do much damage, but they could allow stuff like the Switchron Pikemen and Guardians of Condoom and all of their other dangerous units to cause some issues. Speaking of their dangerous units, their Witchron Pikemen could absolutely decimate my lines. I don't actually have any pikes on myself to counteract them, and if I don't manage to flank them, they can do some serious damage with those pikes that will keep my soldiers at bay from the front. He has 2 of those, which has 3 Guardians of Condoom. Just very solid line infantry. Very tanky, pretty adept at slogging through infantry as well. He also has 2 units of Gundabad Guard, just alright spears, not really anything to write home about, but they can hold the line, dish out some damage, albeit as they'll suffer the spear malice, it won't be as much damage as stuff like the Guardians of Condoom or the Witch Realm Hammer Guard. Another dangerous unit, albeit not as dangerous as stuff like the Witch Realm Hammer Guard and Guardians of Condoom, is the Blackwatch Legion. They're not dangerous because they're solid in melee, albeit they do have AP on those nasty looking maces of theirs. They're good because, like the Goblin Band, they can go into very high mass shield wall and pretty much just barge straight through my battle lines. Albeit, once I can get them bogged down, they will die very quickly. And, well, he also has a small cavalry force of Warg skirmishers. If they can shoot the right targets, they'll get a solid amount of damage done, but once they're out of ammo, they're practically useless. On the other hand, Witchrom Inquisitors, just very dangerous cavalry unit. Definitely the best cavalry unit on the field. I might say, I myself even have a couple of units of Voronon Mounted Company, but they will not stand up to the threat of a unit of Witchrom Inquisitors. And last but not least, Witchrom Hammer Guard. This is a unit housing the Witch King himself, and he'll just easily slog through everything I can throw at him. Albeit, if we couldn't get his hit points down enough, not by shooting him, that wouldn't really do much, but if my front line can just hold him in place to get some solid damage done, while my Lornon Swordmasters and Axemen do the damage, then we'll be solid. But anyway, onto my army now. And I have 2 units of Galathrin Blade Masters. What I'm hoping is that his army will clash against this unit, this unit, this unit, this unit, and this unit, leaving these 2 free to basically flank round. At that point, I didn't know he had about 7 units hidden. 7 or 8 units hidden. That would come out later to just be a pain. These guys, AP, they'll do fairly decently against stuff like their Witchron Pikes and Guardians of Condoom, as well as Gundabad Guard. Albeit they're somewhat of a glass cannon and they can die very easily. I haven't put the armor upgrade on these guys. They're just, I might have put the weapon upgrade on. Can't quite remember. Then my general, how dare him Mr. Howdy there is in the Cairn Rangers. Because I hadn't played Med 2 for a while, I thought that generals couldn't hide. So I put him in this unit thinking that he'd be hidden and he could just stay away, kite them, stuff like that. I also have 2 units of March Wardens of the Wood. They have poison arrows, they can just dish out some solid damage. They should in theory get a fair few kills. And then, they're not half bad in melee, but then nothing to write home about. Then we get to the Lothlorien archers. These guys, obviously they're much better than the March Ones of the Wood. And they're much better in melee. They have these Falxes that they pull out, I believe. So they're Falxmen in melee, very solid units, able to inflict a lot of damage and then even more damage in melee. Then for my first front line, I have 1 unit of Lothlorien Axemen and a spare unit in the rear here, just to support these 4 here. Very tanky, however, because they have a shield they can block missiles incoming from the front. And I think they might be AP, but I don't think so. Albeit they will obviously inflict more damage and stuff like Spears of the Wood and Blades of the Wood. And they'll last longer too because of their heavy lamellar armor. As I said, I have 2 units of Spears of the Wood on the flanks just in case they decide to utilize any cavalry. Also, I want something that's slightly more tanky than stuff like Blades of the Wood on the flank. Very tanky, they can go in the shield wall to increase their mass. Not as tanky as stuff like Lothlorien Axemen, and to an extent they're not even as tanky as stuff like Lothlorien Swordmasters. But they're fairly tanky and they can actually get a decent amount of damage done in the right situations. However, now we come to the Blades of the Wood, definitely more damaging than the Spears of the Wood, albeit they will hold for less time, while dishing out damage faster. And behind these, just to provide any support if they do start to die too quickly, I have 2 units of Lothlorien Swordmasters, AP, high melee attack, high melee defense. But if they get targeted by archers, they could go down fairly quick. But I mean, like, going up against Angmar, the only archers they're gonna have is Snarl archers, and they're not that good. I mean, the only units I was realistically going to be scared of is what are they called? The axe throwers that they have. I'll need to look that up soon. And warg skirmishers because of their AP axes and javelins. Another unit of Lothlorien Axemen. Now onto my cavalry force. It might be able to just about win in a cavalry fight against these. They'll definitely wreck these warg skirmishers, and if I can get enough of them lobbed up around these Witch Realm Inquisitors, they could at the very least do some very big hit point damage. But what I really want for these guys is to try and get hammer and anvils, though when we start it becomes apparent that that may not be possible. But without further ado, let us begin. I will be making a quick cut too, because, well, nothing actually happens for a while. Welcome back. Here we have somewhat of an interesting development to the battle, because this is when I first realised that he had lots of snarging. Obviously there will be another cut as he's not going to attack for maybe another 1,000 frames yet, as he has some more units hidden here. But I just wanted to show you when I realised that, oh my god, there's going to be 500 more soldiers than I thought. And I mean, like, ultimately, if... also, at this point, I'd realised that I should probably just move my Lothlorien Blade Masters over here, because the Karen Amroth Rangers are unable to hide because they have a general's unit in them, so... Oh, and I forgot to tell you, the reason I put the Karen Amroth Rangers out on the flank, because as you can see, they were about here, right? Maybe like this. That would have allowed them, because they have body piercing shots as their rangers, they could have just fired into the flanks and dealt so much damage. Sorry about that. That was just me blowing the horn to let Nicky know that he should start assaulting. Just a rallying horn for the elves, just as a bit of roleplay to pretend that they'd seen them and he was just blowing the horn to rally them, give them some more morale. Because don't forget, I only have 5 units of archers, and I decided to stop the Karen Amroth Rangers from firing so I didn't waste their ammo. But the Snarger are moving up in front of the vanguard. But I'll make a quick cut and be with you very soon. Welcome back. It's been maybe another 300, 400, 500, actually more like 700 frames. And then Nicky revealed his second major surprise. Over 1,000 goblin band just showed themselves and started walking towards me. So yeah, that was fun. As he slowly moves his Spin the Bad God and the rest of his army up, I decide to do I release the first arrows yet? Okay, so I retreated my archers back, and they are just starting to shoot his Guardians of Khondum. With the occasional Snarger getting quarters clapped. I mean, any Snarger we can get rid of isn't really a win, it's just a waste of funds for me, really. Which is just a sad truth. However, I am actually shooting it, trying to shoot his Guardians of Khondum. But he's moved his Snarger up so that they get shot instead of his Guardians. So his Guardians are safer. He's keeping his Witcher-owned pikes back, which I do understand. But I didn't actually realise the threat that the Goblin Band would face until it was too late and they'd already pretty much pushed through my lines. So yeah, when I realised just how much mass they had in Shield Wall, I was not really that impressed. Unfortunately, he knew about my flanking force of Lothlorien Blade Masters, so he wasn't really too surprised when that came out, when I played that card. However, I do have 5 units of missiles, and if I can get my rangers to the flank, which I eventually did, albeit they did take a fair amount of damage, which was unfortunate. But I got them out to the flank, got about 7 or 8, 9 maybe 9, 10 volleys in, and just so many kills, it was beautiful. But actually, I'm just going to pop this into 2.0 speed while we wait for the charge to occur. But I mean, like, as you can see, the charge, it doesn't actually take very long from the moment that they decide to start charging. During this battle, me and Nicky were in a voice chat, so we were chatting and everything. And I was just telling him, just attack me. And well, attack he... oh no. And attack he did. He has so many more soldiers than I do. I was foolish to think I could hold back 1,000 soldiers with a front line of maybe 400, 500 men if I'm lucky. I did switch my run on Axeman and Spizzlewood round. But what he does is just before he gets into melee... nope. He just sends the goblins into melee. It looks like. And albeit, while we are just... oh no. These guys... oops. I may have lied. These guys weren't not firing. His Nicky Snargo strayed slightly too close to my bathroom Blade Masters. And I decided just screw it. May as well just try and get these Snargle off the battlefield. But the problem with these Snargle is these guys won't really put up too much fight. They'll rout quickly, they'll die quickly, but what it could mean is maybe you guys get rid of the melee double attacks. It'll reduce their width bigger. Meaning they'll be less efficient in the fight. These Snargle are getting decimated, that's all I'm doing. However, the Goblin band are surprisingly decent that I've already had send in their own Sword Masters. As you can see, I got my Rangers somewhat round flank. And I'm just pinging arrows into their flanks. But he's got the Black Watch Legion just ready to charge it. And overload this flank, which was definitely an issue. He's still got his pikemen back here, he's sent in the Witch from Hammer Guard, he's got his cavalry hidden in these trees here. Fortunately I realised that and didn't want to do anything too stupid. We fought back the elves, we fought back the orcs on this flank. We're routing the goblin band, but the damage was thing that's done. The Black Watch Legion is just quite strong, just on the sides and but they've just been charging the rear. I suppose they wouldn't know. So I've had to send in my cav, which didn't really make me too pleased. How we have managed to rout with these guys, and these guys are really starting to die quickly. However, with my cavalry sent in, Nicky was able to pretty much with free reckless abandon just send in his cavalry. And against those, especially when he has to fight against Black Watch Legion, my Rohirrim, Roran mounted company aren't really going to fare too well against a bodyguard to cavalry. I'm just trying to chase these guys. It's just really important that I get the chapel through. That's pretty much the best way to do it. Once I've got the chaff off the field, then I can isolate stuff. My Lord on that still fighting with the tide. That's the second Lord on that but they are holding back a massive horde of enemies, and now that we've got the Lord on Sword Masters and this path and the Guard they're fighting, this is going to die very quickly. If this was Mordor, this could have been much, much worse. My Terran was somewhat slaughtered by these log skirmishers because they got shot at. My Lothlorien Blade Master's just getting shot But the key thing to remember is he still has these 2 units of pikes held back in reserve. However, I am having to send in my troops to the line, which didn't really fill me with much hope. I mean, I was having to send in my archers to fight on front lines.
The enemy are badly bloodied. They have
And
lost
so far,
half their men.
these Witron coasters have sorted most of my run-on lines of country. And have lost 2 soldiers. It'll be a great maybe 8 or 9 of them joined up. So if I can play my cards right, these Witron hammer guard are still forcing. Like, there's a fair amount of chaff left, as well as some fairly solid units. But my run-on tool master, they lost 1 man, and they've got many kills. Driving these guys back, I've sent in my 2nd unit to run-on master company. Just trying to do everything I can to kill these Witron enemies back. But there's just so many orcs. And at this point, it was about 10% in my favour. However, the point, I mean, like, most of my soldiers that are left are literally archers, basically, and they're not going to do too well against stuff like Witron pikes. Also, he has 2 units of Snarger archers just shooting at me, plinking away. They won't get many kills quickly, but if they're plinking away at us, they're going to get some kills occasionally. And again, and with an army where you're severely outnumbered from the get-go, I mean, most of his soldiers are literally the elites. I mean, like, probably about 40% of the 61% I've killed have been just Snarger, Goblin Band, stuff like that. And his Witron pikes. I sent in a small unit to Blaze the Wood to just try and hold them back while I killed them with arrows. So I mean, like, the more of them I can take out at range, the better. Now I've sent my ranger shots in there. I'm just trying to keep these Witron pikes occupied.
Only half our force remains.
And my run on Swordmasters, I mean, like, the pikes quite possibly did the worst thing they could have done, just charging the But the thing is, all they're going up against is stuff like March 1s in the war, cavalry, which they're pretty much the best thing against. Some run on Swordmasters, run on Batsmen. I'm trying to move my archers out of there. And my Karen Amroth Rangers just trying to shoot the enemy, but I think the Snarger realised that was my general's unit, Nicky realised that was my general's unit, and also Rangers, so quite possibly the most dangerous unit in my roster. Barring the bodyguard tier pikes, I guess, but he wants to kill him. He wants to eliminate Howdy. And I don't really want that, to be honest. It doesn't really make me feel happy, so I'm just trying to pull them back. And what I'm just trying to do is, well, I'm trying to hold these pikes back and really just flank them with everything I've got. However, the thing that's causing the issues is Witron Coasters have managed to break through. So that's an issue that we're going to need to solve. Snarger Archer's out of ammo, so that's good, I guess. He's moving his Goblin Band back. These guys, I think, are just gonna, yeah, they're pretty much perm routed. However, he still has a lot of chaff that he can throw. I mean, like, if he's keeping my run on darters busy, the Snarger will lose. Obviously, they're going to lose out. But the problem that we're going to face is, they're just keeping them busy. That's all they realistically have to do. However, I am just trying to bog their Witcher increases down. Maybe charge into these Witcher fights, stuff like that. Which are getting pretty much crushed. One of their units is routed, which is definitely fortunate. These 57 are, if the 57 of these guys had stayed, it could have been bad. But as you can see,
if we continue like this, we will smash the enemy.
Well, there goes the enemy general. I wouldn't really say if we continue like this we'd smash the enemy, because it's literally even. And he's managed to. He hasn't killed my general just yet. He's very close. And he's charged back in, and I believe that's where Hallenbeer dies.
Our foolish
and
general has thrown his life away.
Hallenbeer
Our
has
chances
died.
of victory with it.
Which is a big issue. I'm trying to run the lone Karen Hamroth Ranger the hell out there. Ultimately, my Lorna mounted company won't be able to kill many of them. But they've got rid of another one, which is definitely positive. Because the less of these guys there are to deal with, the better. I did tell you my Lorna and Arthurs would win that. I'm just trying to shoot these guys, take them out of the picture. Because while they can rear charge us, we're going to be fine. However, we have this Scotland soldier on hands. Well, yeah, we have. There's 39 Witcher on pikes. They're not going to be looking too good. Well, 89 actually. But now he's deciding to charge into quarters. And as you can see, the balance of power isn't really looking too good for me. Wait. I think I'm blue. I might be red.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
But, yeah. It's not going to be. So, I mean, like, understandably, they still have their pikes, they're going to shoot. However, their pikes don't really have any support of the Snarger. And there's about 100, just over 100 Goblin Band. And 9 Witcher Inquisitors that are currently tormenting my archers. Which, if you ask me, isn't very kind. And they're just turning around and they're just cyclo charging us. We can't really even get bodies off them. Maybe. However, they are going down. I'm just trying, at this point, I just need to get bog them down, get the odd kill here and there. However, on that one we didn't get any kills, but we did get one from bloody dead. And I am in fact, no, we did get a kill there. There's only 6 of them. However, they can literally just out. It's that simple. And they're still finding a way to get into our archers, which is just a big issue. And then they're just running away. Oh wait, no, I am red. They managed to get my archers in the middle. There's 24 of them. They might be able to keep the Snarger, but I reckon they will. However, these Witcher Inquisitors, they're just too much of an issue. I'm just trying to chase these guys off, see if they do return. Wait, no, I'm not chasing them off, they're routing. Forget what I just said there. However, I mean, like, it's 87 to 89%. They've killed more of us than we have of them. And I think it's at this point that I just decide, we just need to protect our archers here. So if we can just shoot these guys to pieces with my 60 odd archers that are left. In fact, I think it was at this point that I pointed out that I still had one lone Karen Amroth ranger over here that was just shooting them. Can he get a kill? The answer is no. I'm very sorry, Ranger. I shouldn't have told Nikki you were alive. What a brave Ranger of Karen Amroth, though. I mean, like, even though there's only 3 of them left, they have literally managed to kill multiple percentage of my soldiers, even with just 3 soldiers. Like, they are literally just pretty much slaughtering my archers, really. And all they're doing is cyclo-charging. I mean, yes, they do lose 1 more horsey after that. I mean, like, that somehow dramatically changes the balance of power. Well, somewhat significantly. But they managed to kill so many of my units, it's just horrible. In fact, as you can see, he's actually killed more of my units than I have of his. And there's 1 guy left, he's managed to somehow kill 2 for 1. Let's follow this guy, and he charges into here. Unfortunately for him, he's just getting shot at. He's not really able to do much, and with that he goes down. And I believe that's
victory is ours.
Yep, that's the dub
Let
for
it be
me.
a salve upon our wounds.
But it was 91% to 88. That's how close it was. And I mean, like, yeah, that was, look how close that was. Obviously he had a lot more men than me, and his Witcher Inquisitor's got, I think, about 350 odd kills. But if we look at my kill counts, my Lorna Mounted Company didn't really use them like the way I wanted to. 38 and 5 kills, not great. Yeah. My Lorna and Axeman getting over 100 kills respectively, as did most of my units, to be fair to them. Barring this one unit of Ronon archers which got 37, this one, you know, March ones of the wood that got 59, another getting 54. However, I think the real MVPs of this battle were definitely my Karen Amroth Rangers. Without them, I don't think I could have won, because they got 417 kills just from firing on that flank over there, over here. So many kills for them. They did absolutely incredible. But with that, thank you for watching. I'll leave the link to the Discord in the chat. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. It's free and it helps out a ton. But without further ado, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.